Soil is quite literally life. It contains millions of microorganisms, but in particular, one bacterium called Mycobacterium Vaccae. This bacterium activates brain cells that produce serotonin. And serotonin, just as a reminder, is your neurotransmitter that is responsible for mood regulation and your overall well-being. When I was a young child, the forest was a second home. It was my sanctuary. And there were so many times I can remember laying on the forest floor and doing my version of a snow angel, and in the mulch instead of snow, though, and mycelium, and breaking that ground and that smell, because it's so potently strong and it's so fresh and it's so full of life and earth, and I can actually smell it just enacting this memory as I'm speaking. Like most kids and people, I left who I was to go to the world, and this usually happens for most everyone around puberty, and some people come back later in young adulthood, some people come back later in life, and some people never come back to who they really are. And I found myself always coming back continuously throughout my life, but when I needed to heal, when the world became just too much. You can probably catch me any day of the week outside, but those times in particular, the times of healing, it was almost like a bat signal or a call to come home, because I was always immediately wanting to be in the soil, on the land, or in the garden, or in the forest, just like I did when I was a kid, flat on my back, being held by Mother Earth, or the Great Spirit that many call God. And this is the sanctuary that saved me. The biological scientist in me absolutely loves the fact that there's actual science to back this phenomenon, this bat signal, or this call to come home when you need to heal. And that is because when we put our hands or our feet or any part of our skin into the soil or into the earth, this mycobacterium will absorb through our skin. And when doing so, it triggers those brain cells to release serotonin. And in doing so, it brings the serotonin back into a balance, or aids the body into bringing the serotonin back into the balance. But either way, my question is, how many people are walking around going from medication to medication, or even non-medicated and living with depression and anxiety? But most all medicated people that I've ever talked to are more worse off after the medications than they were before. How many of these people could just take their shoes off for a few minutes a day, or go sit on the forest floor, or plant a garden, just a small one? Just get your hands in the soil, do it and get it however you can. I wonder what a difference in your life that it would make. The reason that this is not common knowledge is because it has been stripped from us. People are so disconnected from nature that this would be a chore to some to go put their hands in dirt. And in all actuality, it is life, and it is the essence of who we are. The same substances that make our bones and our muscles and our brain cells are in the soil. So go barefoot, plant a garden, sit by a tree, wallow in it like a hog. Just get that mycobacterium however you can.